Oh man, this penultimate episode is gonna go so hard. I assume if you're watching this, you watched episode 6, The Fly, and you can see my breakdown and reaction right there. But right now, I want to talk about episode 7, Emergence, the little teaser that we got, because it looks so good and it looks like it's going to live up to the title of a penultimate episode. First, it starts off with Slightly opening the door to his quarters, and that's when Smee sees a body underneath the bed, which is Arthur Sylvia, who last we saw was getting dragged into an air vent after a face hugger had attached itself to him. Now it looks like that gestation period is not yet over because the face hugger has not left his face yet, so it's still doing its thing. It's putting a xenomorph in him. It's disgusting, but it's cool at the same time, right? And what sucks is, like I said in my breakdown of the last episode, was that I feel bad for Slightly. Like, he's been put in this impossible position. I mean, he's trying to help his family. He doesn't want to see his family get murdered. But I also feel bad for Smee because Slightly is like his best friend. And I think the most childish, and when I say childish, I don't mean immature. I just mean the character that's held on to their childhood, like, just being a child, would be Smee. I mean, you can just see him as like, oh, you know, I just like wanted to play, like, you know, he just comes across, that actor's doing such a good job of portraying a kid, which is very much like Tom Hanks in the movie Big, just very reminiscent of that, where like he's channeling his inner child very well. And just like Morrow is taking advantage of Slightly, Slightly, unfortunately and sadly, is taking advantage of Smee, and he asks him for help, and that's when we see later in this trailer, they're walking through the jungle, and they're on the beach. I believe they're probably trying to get to the boats. I'm sure Morrow has come up with some sort of extraction plan. I'm sure the military guys that we see walking through the water, I'm sure that's the extraction team. I don't necessarily know if they're trying to do like an all-out assault where they, I mean, I know they said like all-out assault. Doesn't mean they're gonna go after like the whole facility. Maybe they're just gonna like protect the asset, you know, Arthur, because Arthur's carrying eventually a xenomorph inside of him. One thing we hear Wendy say in this little teaser trailer is that, you know, maybe we were never safe here, which, I mean, they really weren't. I mean, Boy Cavalier loves these creations of his, but they're just creations of his. He kind of seems like the kind of person that, like a kid, you know, gets that new toy, right? And he's super excited about this new toy. But then he gets a new toy and I don't care about that other toy anymore. Get that toy out of here. You know, when he got these specimens, these alien creatures, he couldn't have cared less about this whole synth thing, which they're supposed to have this huge worldwide announcement. Look at this technology. Look what we can do for humankind. We can extend your lives. You can live forever. But he like doesn't care about that at all anymore. You know, I watch these teaser trailers and it's like, you know, you freeze frame and like click, click. Oh, what's that? What's that? What's that? You know, and there is a little scene where, and I mean, it's like blinking you missed it, but you see Smee on the sandy beach and you see what I would assume is Arthur's arms being dragged away. Now, if you look at the sand right there, you will see that it kind of looks like there was possibly an altercation. A lot of sand is like kicked up. There's not necessarily a bunch of foot tracks. It's just, it almost seems like people were like wrestling or something there. There's no blood on the sand. There's no, you know, white goo from the synths and stuff being spilled out. But I feel like Smee and Slightly got into a disagreement. I think Smee eventually comes to his senses. He's like, this is wrong. This is wrong what we're doing. I think that's when we'll see Slightly just drag Arthur off on his own. And that's when we, you know, that's how we see Arthur's arms being dragged away in the sand. But yeah, I think Smee and Slightly, I think they get into an argument, a disagreement about what Slightly's doing, because I think Smee still has, like I said, he's got that childhood essence in him still. And I think he just disagrees with everything that Slightly's doing. So I think they get it, you know, friends, when you're little kids, you have arguments, you disagreements, you wrestle and you fight or yell at each other. One shoves the other one down to the ground. You're not friends for a couple weeks, but then you're friends again. And I think it also leads into the end of this teaser trailer where we see Wendy just screaming, which, I mean, came across just so raw and so powerful. Just, what did you do? Here's why I think Wendy is so upset. I'm just going to try and call this now, but I think that Joe gets severely hurt or possibly even killed in this episode, and Slightly's to blame for it. I think she is in Slightly's face because Slightly let this whole thing happen. You know, he's the reason that Joe's dead or injured. why some other characters might be dead or injured. Kirsch, I still don't know what the hell's going on with Kirsch. I have a theory in my video if you want to check that out, but I'm not sure what's going on with Kirsch. But Wendy's pissed. Like, we have not seen her this upset in the show, and she is pissed. I think she's in either Slightly or Smee's face, but Smee's kind of the innocent here. He was just trying to help his friend. I think Slightly is the one that she just, oh man, I hope we get to see Wendy just go off. I hope she's like taking out all these spec ops people. Like, oh man, I think Wendy's gonna go badass in this one. I'm calling it now. Wendy's gonna go freaking Terminator on these fools. This show's getting better and better with every episode. I'm loving it. FX, you're absolutely crushing it. Alien Earth, man, God, I feel bad for the people that aren't watching this. I feel extremely bad for the people who aren't even fans of the Alien franchise. Like, yo, y'all be missing out. This show's awesome. The movies are awesome, but I love this show. I hope it gets a second season. The penultimate episode, I think it's going to live up to the hype because I'm hyping it. I hope y'all are hyping it. Are you excited for it? Do you have any theories going into next week? I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments. And if you're not subscribed, hey, subscribe. Doesn't hurt to click a little button like the sign there says. Maybe hit the little like. Help a very small channel like myself grow. Much appreciated. And to those of you that are already subscribed, you know I appreciate y'all. So let's keep the conversation going after the video ends, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.